Hi, I'm John Dingwall, and I'm here with Pat and Greg from Hue and Cry. I was going to say Hue and Cry, but you've probably heard that one before.
No, John, never.
No, thank you. Back with a new album, Open Soul. It's great to have you back. The songs are sounding as good as ever. And, you know, I wonder, does it sound mature as you go on when you start to sing these songs? Do you rework some of the songs now that you've had the likes of Labour of Love over 20 years?
Well, it's interesting to see the performance of Labour of Love that we've just done is absolutely very, very close to when we recorded it in Chappell's publishing house in, what was it, Berners Street in London in 1985, 1984, when we had our first publishing deal. So we're playing that the way we played it over 25 years ago. So sometimes when you go back to the past, you go back to the source, you know, and so that's, in a sense, there is a piano vocal test that we do to all our songs. You know, if it's a strong song, if it can make it to piano vocal, no matter what the arrangement is, no matter how big the band has been, if it goes there, then it's a strong song. So most of our songs are still passing that test.
You're back with a new album, Open Soul. Well, some of the early songs, people picked up on quite quickly. There was a political element to the lyrics, which I think was down to you, Pat. Is that still the case, or do you draw on different subjects? Do you steer away from the politics these days?
Pat and I worry too much. If we worried less and loved more, we could probably be a bigger band. But unfortunately, it's ingrained within our makeup that we worry
Angst.
And we debate too much. So if you know the climate that we're in just now, you know, it's a stormy place politically and socially, and so I mean we're part of it as everybody else is. So we comment on it. So it's just the way we kind of deal with our situation and our surroundings.
And the album's called Open Soul, so if you're an open soul as an artist, you can't not let certain things come in. I mean, yeah, you can talk about the heart and the emotions, but you've also got to talk about, you know, tough economic times, and, you know, military situation, globalisation, any of the big ideas that you want to talk about. If you're an open-souled artist, it's all got to come in, otherwise you're being inauthentic.
How much did the political side of the band first time round interfere with the popularity of the band, or did it benefit the band in those terms?
There was a documentary on BBC4 called Caledonia Dreaming, which really talked about this, and we were all caught up in the times. I mean, it wasn't just Hue and Cry that were appearing on stages around causes, whether it was the poll tax or supporting the Scottish Parliament. It was ourselves, Deacon Blue, Danny Wilson in Texas. I mean, the whole range of those 80 bands, we all turned up on some podium or other at some point over that period. So I think we were caught up in history, and it would have been an odd thing not to be involved in at that time. But here we are sitting in Scotland with a Scottish Parliament, which doesn't look like it's going away. You can have a debate about whether it's doing good or bad, but no doubt we all played our part in that, you know. And I'm quite happy that we played our part in that.
What protest song did Texas sing?
Well, they were involved. They were on the day for Scotland.
Way.
They were
the Proclaimers,
on,
yes.
Well, the Proclaimers. I understand the Proclaimers. What do you do when democracy fails you has been etched on the wall of the Parliament, you know what I mean? So never quite got a Hue and Cry lyric etched on the wall of the Parliament. But no, I don't think you can dissociate those bands from that time. And do you know what I mean? I think it had a result. I think we got what we were all looking for. We got the Parliament, and it's working well, and, you know, sort of mission accomplished to a degree, you know.
And the music industry has also changed dramatically over the last 20 years or so. What is the difference between releasing an album for you guys now compared to when you first set out?
You know, we're lucky enough. Our first album, I was 20 when our first album was released. So 22 years later, and 13, 14 albums later. It's been really interesting. Pat and I are compulsive learners. We learn how to do new things. If you don't know how to do something, don't ask somebody to do it for you. Learn how to do it. So what we've been doing for the last year, 2 years, is burying our heads in manuals and tutorials and learning how this new medium of the internet and how you make music work for you on the internet. We want to learn how to do it ourselves. And what we've found is a lot of people don't know what to do. There's lots of people trying different ideas, but we've kind of doggedly created this thing called the Hue and Cry Music Club, which is our idea.
It's hueandcry.co.uk.
It's our sort of solution to see if it's going to work. And so far so good. It's been running for 4 months. We've got over 2,000 people that have signed up for it who are fans, and we give them content every week. And it's the last tour that we did, the fans through contacting us suggested old songs that we should revisit. So there was old songs on the tour that we'd never thought of playing, but they said, no, please, could you do this for us? So they're actually contributing to Hue and Cry in a way that wasn't possible before. They would scream for a song at a gig, but this is a more direct way of getting to us and saying, if enough of you say, do that song, we'll do it.
And it turns out that the fact that you're an 80s band with 22 years of history in this environment turns out to be an advantage, because you have 22 years of up and down activity. But people, for example, we've got a bit on the website which lists every single gig we've ever done over the last 22 years, and people can use that in the same way they use Friends Reunited to identify with people who they were at school with or who they were working with. They can congregate around particular gigs, new gigs, but old gigs as well. So I mean, if you play to 4 times 85,000 people with Madonna in 1987, that's quite an ambition to get 1% of those people to kind of come and find out what it was like to experience that. So it's exciting. It's actually an exciting environment, and I suppose because we are guys in our mid-40s, we've done a bit of life. We've had a bit of experience, different areas of life. To come back to bringing our art and a business sense, a business head and an art head, is good. It actually feels grown up.
And is that because, I mean, is the way that works, is the reason that the Hue and Cry Club works because a lot of the money now is made through live gigs rather than record sales?
Well, my younger brother plays for the Proclaimers, and he just got given his platinum album for the last album that they did.
The best of the Proclaimers.
So people are still buying records. What we're trying to do is create something new and interesting. People are still buying. We just got sales figures for our albums today, and it's done really well. So people are still buying it. Not as many as they used to buy, but we're just trying to give them something extra. It's as though we've kind of decided between us that we're going to give even more this time round to promote and to engage with people with what we do. Pat says in some interviews, it's not good enough, or it's not enough to stand on a stage and pout and expect people to get involved. You've got to engage with them.
Brilliant. Pat and Greg, thank you very much.
John, thank you.
Nice one.